So do you belong to any PR-related associations?
I belong to PR-related associations as well as other ones. I'm really going to be honest with you. This is where the salesperson in me comes out. I have no interest in pontificating amongst a bunch of public relations people and I do this in my firm and I do that in my, honestly, I want to get out there, work, play hard, and I like to go home. I like to go out and enjoy New York City. And I find that I don't like time wasters, and I find that some of the associations can just be that, unless you're going into teaching. But if you're a doer and not a teacher, then I just belong to them just to say I belong to them for clients and put the logo on my brochures. Really, that's it. I don't find them useful at all, unless they throw a Meet the Media event. I don't find other public relations, I don't find them warm and friendly. I don't find other people willing to share really what they're doing in their firm and open up. So I'm one of those people that I may give the clues away, but no one gives me anything. So I think there needs to be a shift and a focus there with the PRSA. I'm a member of it. I'm a member of New York Women in Communications. And it's pretty much kind of the same thing. I do think they get more journalists involved, which I do like that approach. But I just don't find, and this is something I've talked to people in the PRSA about, and particularly the New York chapter, I don't find them to be of any help outside of just paying my association and chapter fees.
Interesting.
I'm just honest. I'm sorry. I'm blatantly honest.
No, I respect your honesty.
I do find a lot of the social media firms to be more, associations, to be more useful in that. Well, Social Media Society, which a lot of PR people do belong to. A lot of the writers are on social media. I've actually met writers on Twitter and say, hey, I got a great story for you. What's your email? Because, you have to get their email addresses or information any way you can. I mean, I belong to Media Database. I have one for my company, but sometimes that information is not any good. So I found them on Twitter and social media societies. Because it's so new and everyone's still trying to figure out, there's a lot more intellectual sharing that goes on there, as opposed to I just want to be top dog and my firm's better than your firm. In social media society, it's more like the artist world. They want to share their work, they want to show their work because it's so new that we want it to explode, we want it to ignite. I mean, you have to incorporate a social media strategy in your PR strategy now anyway. And I think we see that even on the news. I mean, a simple tweet can make you or break you. So, or a Facebook picture. So I think that it's very important that PR people incorporate that, and I've found even writers, they're a lot more relaxed as opposed to a Meet the Press event with the PRSA where they know they're gonna have a bunch of press people coming after them. You may get a journalist that comes and talks about what they're doing on social media and Twitter, but yet they're journalists. So you get value from that, and you just look at who the journalist is and your client base and figure out if you can use that person, that person's contact info. So I find the social media societies, and I pretty much say any of them, there's a lot popping up. I go around to the different meetings. I find that I get more out of them.
I'm going to ask you a question. We talked a little bit about social media. You specialize in social media, and you advise your clients to take their reputation goals to the next level. Are there public relation challenges unique to firms doing business primarily through new media?
And you really want to interview me because I'm incredibly honest, right?
Yes.
Okay. Let me just tell you something about the social media expert. It's only 5 years old. Everyone's an expert. Okay, so there you go. I said it, Penn State. You're an expert. You know more probably than I do. The communications people. Why it's new, it's still developing, and PR people are figuring out how to use it. There's 2 schools of PR. I have older, I call them my PR cronies, who don't use it and don't realize the importance of it, and they're still grappling with it, and then they hire a 20-year-old to do it, and they realize that their client sounds like they're 20. And you can't hire a 20-year-old, and I'm all for hiring young interns to do your social media, but I also write that out. I give them standard, and all they have to cut and paste and modify it, but your brand will sound like you're 20, and unless it's reaching out to 20-year-olds, your brand will sound like it's 20 if a 20-year-old is doing it. If you're reaching out to mothers, you have to have someone. Social media just shows, PR people cannot clean social media up, as no matter how hard they try. And I think a perfect example is Susan G. Komen. People are still talking about that, still to this day. Susan G. Komen had to get the funding back and whatever, and the Planned Parenthood thing, and social media took. People are still going to remember that. If it's bad, if it's good, oh yeah, if they even see it a second. So I think because the way social media is, I believe that every brand should have a complete understanding of it. Social media has allowed my company to be global and go global without being global, because I have brands that have found me through social media. And I'm really amazed at how someone in Australia finds me on Twitter. And then we start a relationship, and then we start emailing, and then now they're my client because they're interested in the American marketplace. So through social media, I believe that clients need to not only just manage their reputation and what messages go out, also clients can use it to let people know about their products and services. So if it's an additional channel and 1 billion people on 100 million, I don't know, I'm always losing track because it's always a new platform. I think that clients have to use it. I actually have a great PR story about social media I love to share. Okay. And it's my personal one. So Delta Airlines, I'm flying and I went to a conference. By Vegas, after 4 days, you're just tired of it. You just want to come back home. The ching, 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 and you hear it, So I was there for a week. I get to the airport on a Saturday because I'm like, everyone's leaving on Sunday. And I leave on Saturday evening, and the flight, they put us on the flight. We go like we're like leaving, and then we sit there for 4 hours. And then you can't use your phone, and then we go back and they say we have to switch planes. We switch planes, they take us back out, we get on the taxi, and we're back there another 2 hours. Another plane had already left to New York City, direct flight. Well, now it's 1 a.m, and by then it was 11:30, and we're sitting on the plane, there's the 2-year-old kid crying, at the end I'm like, someone please just do something with the kid, because I've worked all day and I just want to get back home. And Delta Airlines we felt like they were lying to us. And I'm going to say it's Delta because it's out there on Twitter and you can see a conversation between Delta and myself. I said, I'm sick of this. I said, let's go to Twitter. Mm-hmm. Turn on my phone. I have my app. And I start tweeting. I cannot believe that Delta had us change planes to leave us sitting here for another hour and a half. And no one responded. And I'm venting my frustrations about Delta Airlines. Then we go back in, and then they say, we're going to get you a new plane. And then they have us waiting again. And then they say, no more flights. And then the flights all day Sunday are all booked up. We're going to try to get you out of here, this and that. I actually flew another airline to Philly and then took the train from Philly to come in, because otherwise I would not have been able to get back to New York till Tuesday morning if I would have waited for Delta. I got a child, as I mentioned. I'm a businesswoman. Monday I have people, I got clients. I got all these things I have to deal with Monday morning, not including the fact that I just need to be home and rest, and I can't spend another week away from my child and my business, my personal, everything. So I'm like really upset. They give us pillows and they say, wait, we're short staffed because it's between 3 and 5 in the morning. They don't have limited staff. They had one person. The flight was packed. I don't know how many people can fit on the plane. Literally the line out the door, I grab a pillow and I'm like, I'm going to Twitter with this. And the first thing I said is just, I'm gonna go to another airline. Now, I flew to the other airline. They actually took care of it when I called while the other people were waiting. And I called up and the woman was nasty over the telephone. I said, wow, I'm not getting anywhere with these people. So I start tweeting again. I'm like, I can't believe that they're dedicated customer service person. Even if I'm a little bit erratic, they should be calm because I've literally been not here 9 hours and have not left. And they haven't given us any food, nothing, but some red blankets. And the person was just really, I can't do anything for you. Actually, the desk person managed to get me to another airline to Philly because I just said, get me out of here and on the East Coast as soon as possible. I would have flew anywhere in the tri-state area. So they got me out there, and then they said, don't worry, your bags, we'll take care of them. They will be delivered to your house. Lo and behold, Delta lost my bags. And I didn't get my bags back for like 15 days. It was damaged luggage. Yeah, it was a nightmare. So when I went to Twitter, by the time I landed in Philadelphia, I got an email that they had responded. Delta assist, and we want to help, and this and that. And they said, direct message me. So I know direct message means that follow me so you can direct message me. So they wanted to take it off the public platform and put it on the private. And I said, okay. So the person, when we went direct message, wasn't really helping me out. I went back on to the public messaging about Delta and the Delta Assist person, and I got credit towards a flight, baggage, probably for the next 10 flights I take with Delta, all just by conversating on Twitter, more than I gotten at the desk, more help than I've gotten by email, more help than I had gotten on the 800 number, speaking to a person. I got more from Twitter. I could not believe it, and I said, this is a great case study of how you can use social media from a customer service perspective. Case in point, Delta was watching. They knew I was upset. They knew I was tweeting about them. Now, that could have picked up into a news story. It didn't, but sometimes you do hear about them getting picked up on news stories. So if I don't advise my clients to use social media, they could get totally ripped out there. You could say anything you want and they don't even have a chance to defend themselves. Because maybe it is a nervous or scary person. I mean, maybe it is. And maybe you don't know what happens in your company because you have 50 people. You don't know what 50 people do 24 hours in a day, or I'm sorry, the 8 hours that they're with you. So social media allows you to be able to kind of gauge your brand, gauge the abuse of your company and everything without you having to, I guess, spy or read an email. So I think people have to own it. And I think that clients have to understand it. I think they have to take an active role in it now.
Mm-hmm.